And
Vlad, I'm gonna give you a story. The guy who I bought my house from, I'm Googling this shit because I'm like, buying this house. Google the guy's name. The guy's name is up in a scandal, an SEC scandal. The guy worked on Wall Street. He worked on Wall Street, and apparently there was some that basically, to make long story short, he cooperated against like the other guys. Like when it comes to like that, there's no like holding it down. Everyone just tells. Yeah. Everyone just be like, okay, this is what happens. This is what happens. It's not even really called cooperation. It's just like, all right, hey, you're gonna pay this fine, blah blah blah. Right. Basically, he took his part. Like he. The funny part about it, the guys or some of the people who he worked with, they funded his next thing. So that's why he got his money. He just couldn't stay in Wall Street, and that's why he moved. Yeah. All right, I'm out of the Northeast. Cool. So he got this other venture that's fully funded with some of the same guys. Yeah. And he just dipped. And I'm pretty sure it's like no bad blood. He's not bad. Fuck it, right? It's like it worked out amicably. Everybody, whether it was cooperation or whatever, everybody did what they had to do to make sure, because there is no, yo, Vlad better hold it down for me or else he can't come back to the streets.
Like, for example, I tweeted this today. I said, mark my words, Diddy is going to cooperate against every single person that he can. He's probably writing down every name he could think of on the toilet paper in the cell, and he's probably gone through the whole roll. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, now, because I remember 1090 Jake said, like, in the feds, cooperation is actually like a big thing. Like, if you could snitch on somebody, they'll make deals with you. So, do you think that Diddy is going to do 10, 20 years if he has a chance to snitch on someone and get that reduced by half? Shit.
No, I wouldn't put it past Diddy to cooperate. First of all,
he'll be D-snitchy, you know? P-snitchy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
First of all, I think cooperation, we can see with the multiple different situations, cooperation doesn't mean too much in this culture anymore. Yeah. If we're not talking about, I don't even know if the mafia or mob still like exists in some form, or if we're definitely talking about a cartel. Yeah, there is no repercussions from what we're seeing. You know what I mean? Like there
isn't.
And maybe it's probably like on a very small percentage that there are repercussions. I'm just wondering who the hell could Diddy give? And it feels like, once again, me and Hitmaker Young Bird, we talked about this. I think Diddy's one of those people who stayed too late at the party. If you think about when the indictment starts, if you think about people he could give up, so the indictment, the years that they start the RICO, 2008 until 2024, that's the year Jay-Z gets married. Oh. So if Jay-Z was into some fuck shit, he stops. Allegedly, right? Yeah. A lot of people like kind of got out, right? Like, some people, I've heard some people say what we're hearing about some of this freaky deaky shit with Diddy, that's the 90s. In a sense of, it's not non-consensual, to be very clear. Like, no one's saying, oh, we're doing non-consensual shit.
The Cassie thing came in the 2000s, though.
Yeah, well, apparently there was just a pattern of wild, freaky parties that he continued. Right? Where
I get it, but there's nothing really illegal about being freaky. Like, I'm still sort of scratching my head a little bit as to what exactly he did that was so bad. Honestly, like, I understand things are being painted. And I remember I carefully went through the
well, that's the nature of those type of allegations, though, right?
Here's the thing. R. Kelly got convicted for underage sex. Now, that's something that's very clear and laid out, and there's no gray area about that. If the girl's 17 under federal guidelines, that's statutory rape.
But here's the thing, Vlad. Right? The nature of what sexual assault is, or how the allegation could be made, is about, did you give consent, which is not something that is just standardized and set in stone.
It's not. It's very fuzzy.
Yeah, even though technically, if you gave consent at the time, it means if everything was good, they're cool. You can't change your mind 20 years from now. Like right now, let me ask you a question, Vlad. If you were a woman right now and you had sex with Diddy, maybe Diddy was wine and dining you, probably selling you a dream. Hey, listen, you're going to be my main girl. I want to have a kid with you, blah, blah, blah. Cool. He flies you out, brings you to Aruba, smashes you a couple times, doesn't answer the phone after that. Yeah. Right now, when you see him going through all that, think about, all right, you may have done some things that maybe you never wanted to do. You never did a threesome, but you're like, I like this guy, and wow, if this is how I got to do.
You've never done anal.
Whatever.
But he wants to do it, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now when you're sitting back and you're watching this all happen, do you say, let me hit up a lawyer? Or do you say, well, no, I actually wanted to do that, even though it didn't turn out my way? Be honest.
I mean, it depends where you are in life. Right? If you're happily married.
I'm talking to you're a woman, right? Let's say you're the part of life you're at is that financially you could definitely use a couple bucks.
Right. So which point you'll probably sue.
So when you see things like that,
if you're happily married to a multimillionaire, you probably won't.
Yeah, and by the way, here's the thing too. There's that one Jane Doe who, by the way, obviously, you know, I'm wondering if she's going to get added to the criminal indictment, but she said she was 17. That was the first Jane Doe.
Yeah, I heard about it. Was that the candy one?
Yeah.
Or no, is that the one in the studio?
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
So,
but so once again, there's pictures of her in the studio.
Well, here's the thing.
What does that prove? It proves that you were in the studio and you took some pictures. If there's a picture of Diddy's hand up your dress in the studio, then yeah, I get it. But to take a picture where you're smiling next to the Bad Boy logo at Daddy's house, I've been at Daddy's house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I interviewed Young Berg at Daddy's house. Like, Diddy wasn't there. I was there. I mean, I could take a picture of me at Daddy's house and say that Diddy raped me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yo,
it'd be hard to prove that he was even there or not. Like,
I've heard a few people that have had no sexual contact with Diddy who's contemplated that. I'm serious.
Exactly.
Like, they're literally like...
Yeah, no, it's wild. It's wild. Because I don't even like... Let me tell you, like, I don't even like the concept of being able to sue someone under a Jane Doe or a John Doe. I think that that's foul.
They threw out the first one.
Well, I think it's a miscarriage of justice, because if you being anonymous and suing someone publicly, their name gets run through the dirt because of you, and then when it gets thrown out, you walk away as if nothing had happened. But they're left with the stigma of being accused of a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah.
My whole thing is that if you're going to be a Jane Doe and you sue somebody, they should be a John Doe, and that whole lawsuit should be completely private, until maybe it's done or whatever else.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? But if you sue someone publicly, you should have to be, exposing your name. People are like, oh no, but that's not fair because these powerful men could ruin their lives. Nah, fuck that. You're trying to get a big paycheck. You're trying to go for that bag, whatever else. You need to put your name out.
Well, I've talked to a bunch of like attorneys who are watching these cases, and they're like, hey, listen, the new way how to legally slander someone's name is to do it via lawsuit. Yeah. There is no...
Like Lil Rod.
Yeah, there is no repercussions. And obviously there is repercussions. Like, for example, that lawyer, that lawyer...
They're trying to sanction him, right?
Yeah.
Did they sanction him?
Well, they referred him to a sanctioning committee. That's the whole process. Yeah. When he filed one in New York for Liza Gardner, he included UMG, and he literally apologized. Yeah. And because they said, no, you're doing this BS too much. We're gonna send you this. We're gonna put some sanctioning things in. Yeah. And he basically said, hey, we'll drop you guys from the lawsuit as long as you don't refer me to the sanctioning committee. They referred him anyway after he did, so he's bad.
Yeah, no, listen, like going through the Lil Rod lawsuit, I have yet to see anything in that lawsuit that looked like it was truthful. The whole thing looked like a pack of lies.
But here's the thing.
Down to like the pictures of like Stevie J doing some sort of gay activity when the actual gay porn star came forward and said, that's me in those photos.
Well, here's the thing. The majority of these salacious things that came out came from that lawsuit. Right, like obviously the Cassie stuff, we've all verified most of that stuff. Exactly. The other stuff that's not verified, we'll probably verify later. His stuff said that Diddy had underage girls. The women came out, we're almost like 40 now. Like back then, we're late 20s.
Yeah, no one has co-signed anything in that lawsuit.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it's a way where, and in places like New York, there's what's called anti-slap laws, which means if I file a lawsuit saying, like, pause. Like, I said, hey, Vlad raped me.
Yeah.
And he raped me on March 10th, 2019. Then your lawyer sends in proof to say, yo, March 10th, 2019, this guy was in Jamaica. Vlad was in Russia. It's impossible.
Yeah.
At that point, I've abused the court system.
Yeah.
And I'm now just taking up the resource with frivolous lawsuits. What they then do is you automatically get back, or not get back, you get a reverse judgment in the dismissal of you could reclaim. And that's what 50 Cent did, actually, with Tara Marie.
Yeah.
You get to get up to your legal fees. Yeah. But it still doesn't deter people because these people don't have any money, right? So it's like, are you going to go chase something? You spent $500,000. You're going to go chase a person down that got $5? Their lawyer did it for pro bono.
Yeah, look at Cardi B.
Yeah. And
Tasha K is still doing Tasha K, still on YouTube every day, doing interviews, doing views. You know, like, I mean, I mentioned this before. Like, she made a video lying about me.
Who?
Tasha K.
Oh, what happened with that?
I mean, this was right around the time of the Cardi B thing, which kind of, people were putting it on my radar. She made a video saying that she knows for a fact that I interview rappers and then I give the footage to the police before I release it because I hate black people.
Really?
And I'm like, well, that's just not true. You know what I mean? Now, whether I hate black people or I don't hate black people, that's an opinion. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? You can say that and whatever. But I don't send my footage to the police before I upload anything. I upload it, and then whatever happens with it is whatever happens with it. I've never sent my stuff to police, ever. So my lawyers, I reached out to her, and I'm like, I need this removed, and I'm CCing my lawyer. She's like, oh, can we talk about it? I'm like, I'd rather not. I just want it removed. And she was like, well, I'm not taking it down. I'm like, okay, Ariana, let's go forward with this lawsuit. And then an hour later, fine, I removed it. I hope you enjoy, attacking a woman, and blah, 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 I hope your male G-spot is tickled, fuck you, but she removed it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, a lot of this stuff is just sort of unnecessary. Like, I mean, listen, the funny part was that when Tasha first came out, I actually hit her up and said, hey, congratulations. I see you doing your thing. If you ever want to talk or whatever, like how I am with people like you. Like, when I see someone who's doing their thing, I reach out. I've never said anything negative about her. So when I saw that, I was like, well, what's this from? Like, this is just
kind of odd, right?
But I think, like, with Tasha, I think that, like, her platform is sort of muddling the truth, creating,
I've seen another person who does that. I've been watching them, and I've never been the type to include a lawyer because I do understand that some. I think people are trying to make content, but sometimes people go too far. They'll create a whole narrative about you.
Yeah, man, listen, there's a bunch of videos. This is what I'm saying. Like, a bunch of these videos using my content, whatever, don't let me cash out because I'll sue everybody. I will absolutely tear people up, and hem them up in court and make them spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. But like I said, I don't have that much extra money to do dumb shit like this.
Yeah, and also
what I just want to say is that, like, you're always going to get a lot more views when you create conspiracy theory content that's not based on facts. Yeah.
Because all you got to do is create something else that's even bigger to kind of, supplement that and then kind of link other things. And then people are down this rabbit hole that you hold the keys to. It's like you're telling a fictional story.
Exactly.
They don't know where it goes.
And when you look at the biggest interviews, like Shannon mentioned how before the Cat Williams interview, the biggest interview on YouTube was Joe Rogan interviewing a UFO guy. That's all conspiracy theory, 100%. No one has a UFO. No one has footage of an alien. Like, this is all conspiracy theory. So the biggest interview ever was full-blown conspiracy theory, which is followed up by the Cat Williams interview, which is, once again, full-blown conspiracy theory. Do you really think that Harvey Weinstein offered to suck Cat Williams' dick for $15 million?
I don't know, Vlad. I'm gonna be honest with you. After he got this Diddy shit right, I'm like,
Harvey,
no. I think that's exaggerated.
No one's even.
No. I think that's exaggerated.
There's never been any proof that Harvey's even gay. All his allegations are based on women. Every single one of them. But suddenly you want to spend $50 million to suck Cat Williams' dick? Come on, it's silly. It's silly.
I don't think it would have been
true. I know it's not true. And a lot of the stuff he was saying was
I don't think it would have been just that easy, cut and dry. I think it's, hey, there was a deal that was probably worth $50 million, but it probably came with compromise in his integrity, which may have included, I don't know, maybe some sexual stuff. I'm not saying this was paying for sex. I don't know. I can't. Here's the thing. The thing with niggas like Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, and I'm sorry, you gotta even say R. Kelly's even if you hear something wild, you're like, that don't really make sense. That's what I'm reading this current lawsuit. This chick said, yo, they forced me to fly out. This dude used to force me to fly out.
Right.
He would send black trucks to my house to pick me up, and I had to get in. I had to go on all expense paid trips, and I was like,
I had to get on that first class flight.
Yes, and
they forced me to eat that better food than a distant coach.
And a normal brain human would be like, yo, you're capping. Except, bro, I can't even say it. It's like, yo, Diddy, you did too much fuck shit that you removed the benefit of the doubt. We can't give you the benefit of the doubt no more. We have to be like, well, I know it sounds kind of unbelievable, but shit, the rest of the shit sound unbelievable. And when there's some smoke, there might be a little bit of fire.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's. I would say 99% of it is bullshit.